Hi, guys. Hi. My name is Alina Shaltsova. I am a New York immigration attorney. Today, we're going to have our live on various platforms. I'm going to be talking about the most recent immigration news, some updates, reminders, and as always, in the end, I will be happy to answer your guys' questions. So, I do these live sessions regularly. I provide, you can say, free immigration services, free immigration consulting, or more like tips for you every week, actually twice a week at this point, on Tuesdays and Fridays, because I do have on my platforms a lot of interest. People show a lot of interest, and I'm happy to help you. Whatever I can do to give you a tip, to just help you a little bit so you would know what to expect, what to maybe research. I'd be very happy to do so. Always happy to help you out. Again, my name is Alina Shaltsova. I'm an immigration attorney based in New York, and today we have our live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And after I'm done with my presentation, I'll be happy to answer your guys' questions. So don't be shy. Type up where you're watching from. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And of course, type up your questions so that I will be able to help you out a little bit today and give you maybe a tip as to what you need to research, what I believe is happening. And if I can't answer your question truthfully, then I will let you know so. So thank you very much for joining. Hi, Chao Huan. Hi, Art Silk. Hi, guys on TikTok. Thank you for your hearts. Everybody, thank you so much for your hearts. Thank you for liking and sharing this video. I do appreciate a lot your participation and your encouragement. Don't forget to share the stream so that more people going to join us, and we're going to have a larger community of people who think alike, right? People who would like to understand what's happening in immigration, why are we at the point where we're at, and what we can improve, and more importantly, how you can use current immigration situation, current immigration laws to find solutions for you, right? Many of you have stated that you need help with immigration questions. You need help with immigration issues. Maybe you have a case that's stuck. Maybe you're petitioning your relative. Maybe you're filing for asylum. Maybe you're just thinking about coming to the United States and you would like to know what's there to come. So let's focus for now on what's happening right now in the United States immigration. Again, I'm reminding everybody should know that starting April 1st, the fees are going to go up. It's extremely important. You have about 1 month to prepare your filings and submit to USCIS and save yourself about $1,000, right? Hey, listen, if you have lots of thousands of dollars, good for you. But if you have, as most of us, we need that $1,000 to pay for something like a bill, a rent. Maybe you have children. It's good to save that $1,000 and spend on something else. Just keep it in mind that April 1st is going to change and you will have to spend more money. Starting Monday, premium processing are going to go up. If before or now you can pay only $1,500, starting Monday is going to be $1,685. If your rate for your particular filing right now is $2,500, starting Monday is going to be $2,805, $305 more. H-1B, guys, I have an excellent article on my website, shaltsova.com, that gives a little recap as to the changes in H-1B program. If you're somebody who is an H-1B, who is thinking about filing for H-1B, you should read it. You should understand big changes that are coming to the H-1B program, and what's important, that the registration for H-1B program and filing will be electronic. It's not going to make our life any easier. I just attended a seminar by AILA, American Immigration Lawyers Association, that explained that basically, unfortunately, at least now, it will be harder to just submit physically H-1B petitions because the filings are going to be online. And if you know me, you know I do not like online filings. Online filings I don't like because they take forever. There is a greater opportunity to make an error that you will not notice. Why? It's because just the way stuff is set up. I would love USCIS to accept the format that other federal agencies have, especially federal courts, where you prepare your forms and then you upload them, right? So you have the form in the same way it's printed on USCIS website, so it's easy to follow through it, easy to look at it. But no, it's different right now, and that's what it's going to be for H-1B. So if your attorney is going to say that this year H-1B is going to be more expensive, now you know why. Because more labor is going to be required, and it's going to be a little headache to deal with this H-1B. So you know why, all right? So big programs are coming. Also, big changes are coming. Also, USCIS is going to implement in spring pilot E-Verify program. And if you do not know what E-Verify is, you're probably not an F1 student, okay? And you're probably not an employer. But if you are employing people in the United States, and if you are an F1 student, you would know that E-Verify is a system that allows employers to immediately, in most situations, verify your employment eligibility. It's extremely important. By the way, if you are an employer, even if you yourself undocumented, you have to know that when you are hiring staff, you have to collect forms I-9 and you have to fill them out. It's extremely important. The law is not new law. It's from 1986, I believe. And if you don't comply with this law, great fines can be imposed, significant fines. And you're basically in violation. So even when I hire somebody, I have to do that. Just know that we all have to do that. Form I-9. Form I-9, when you look at it, it doesn't look difficult, but for some reason, when I help employers to go through them, we uncover a lot of little errors usually. Someone would forget to put a date on, would not sign in the right spot. And all those technical violations may not present a huge problem if you're going through the audit for the first time, but if somehow Department of Justice, DHS, finds out that this is not your first time when you're not making the form I-9 the right way, they can impose quite significant fines. You need to know that. So you do not have to hire a lawyer to figure out, if you have patience and time, how to submit, how to fill out forms I-9. There is an excellent guide by DHS as to what you need to do, contains all the answers and questions. Well, just, gonna take your time to go through this, but it's all possible. Just also know, guys, you do not need to have a lawyer in the United States to handle an immigration case. The law allows you to do it yourself. If it's a fairly simple thing like extension of your green card, do it online, do it yourself, all right? But if it's something more complicated or you're not sure what the answer is, then at least consult with an attorney. I'll give you an example. If you Google who is a child for immigration purposes, you will find an answer that the child is someone who is under 21. That's fantastic. But if we're dealing with a step-parent, stepchild, now the definition is different. It's going to be someone who was under 18 years old when the step-parent married the biological parent, and a special bond was established between the step-parent and the stepchild. Definition is different. And if you do not know that, you can be confused. You would think that you can give some benefits to this child, your stepchild of yours, but then you find out that, in fact, USCIS is not going to recognize that person as your child. So you just need to know little things, here and there. Same goes for more complex areas of law. Let's say EB-5. EB-5 is extremely difficult for a person without an attorney to understand. Even lawyers make mistakes. You constantly have to check and recheck yourself, especially in the light of the fact that laws are constantly changing. Just a couple of examples. Now, one more thing I wanted to talk about, and this is relevant for those of you who have criminal convictions and you either have a green card only and you don't have citizenship, or you don't have a green card and you would like to get one, or you were deported, at least on the paper, because of the criminal conviction, and now you're seeking to reverse that. Board of Immigration Appeals issued a decision today, matter of ASRAG, if I pronounce it correctly, where they stated, if your criminal conviction was vacated, but the court did not state the reason for the vacatur, and the record does not establish it, and it's not clear that it was vacated because of the substantial or procedural defect, for immigration purposes, such decision that your conviction was vacated is not going to be counted. It means that your conviction is still going to stand as if you have a conviction. So criminal attorneys who are handling this motions to reopen cost a lot of money. And before you're going to spend that money, make sure you discuss it with them that a court order vacating that conviction must address the reason, and it must be including this particular wording that the reason is because of substantial or procedural violation. Otherwise, you're going to just waste your time and money. Your conviction is still going to stand for immigration purposes. It's not going to get you anywhere. All right. So this is what I wanted to share with you for now. And if you have some questions, I'll be very happy to answer them. So why don't we start? We're going to start with Facebook and YouTube, and then we're going to go to our friends on TikTok. Hi, Manoj. Hi, Kamiraj from Trinidad. Yay! Hi, Oscar. Hi, Sereno Diallo. Hi, Phil from Nigeria. Yay! I wonder what time it is now in Nigeria. Hi, Dee. Let's see. Hi, Alina. What do you think about the USCIS updated there, fixing the backlog? But the processing time for VAWA is 37 months, and most cases take 1,000+ days. I'll be extremely happy if they will fix their backlog. But let's be realistic. To fix the backlog, you need what? You need manpower. You need officers. You need the system that works fast. Without hiring more people, the backlog is not going to be resolved. I think it's common sense, right? It's a common sense. It's nothing that is not anybody can understand that. One way that USCIS was able to address this particular backlog or this particular situation, they stopped calling you guys for interviews. They stopped calling you guys for interviews in connection with the most common filing marriage-based cases. So it became faster. The process became faster. Thank you guys again for stars and hearts. Thank you very much. So the process became faster. And that's why I think, for the most part, the backlog, they were able to decide that 10 million cases, as they stated. Now, can they improve the system? Of course. Will this backlog be reduced this year? So we will see that the green card takes exactly 6 months? I don't think so. Well, I don't think so, but we're going to see, right? We're going to see what's going to happen. Hi, McCrane. Hello, Alina. How long for USCIS takes to process a marriage case after they received my response for a fee for medical exam? Usually, guys, within 30 days. You will receive your response. You will receive your green card. If you were asked to present your medical, it means you're going to get a green card. That's what usually it means, all right? Hi, Paul. I overstayed my B1, B2 for 8 years. Have one US-born child. Any chance to get work permit? Usually, if you overstayed in the United States and you have a kid, you have a US citizen-born child, by itself, it's not enough for you to get any status. You have to know that. To get status, you would have to marry a US citizen, God forbid, become a victim of a crime, of human trafficking, usually. And that would be about it, unless some other very particular situations are happening in your life, okay? Some people would qualify for asylum, of course, even if they miss the asylum deadline, in case they can restore it or have a chance of restoring it. Let's say country conditions changed in your country. significantly, or your personal circumstances. Sometimes it happens. We had people who were able to get asylum even though they entered the United States physically many years, and we filed for asylum many years after they entered. So we were successful. But typically, you would have to wait for some kind of a change in your life in order to fix your status. So that's just the honest answer. So now let me take some questions from our friends from TikTok. Hi, Joseph. From Uganda. Yay. Thank you very much, guys, for liking and sharing the streams and sending your encouragement. Thank you very much, Shana, for sharing. Is it true that we have to wait for 37 months for them to process anything? Not everything, guys. Some applications are being processed very fast. Naturalization applications is a priority. They're being processed in about 6 to 9 months. I-130s for parents in most situations also going to take under 6 months, just so you know. Adjustment of status based on marriage in most cases is going to take about 11 months. Not every case is going to take that long. Some cases will. Hi, Sunrise. How many years relative-based green card? It depends on the relationship that you have with your relative. If you are a US citizen and you're sponsoring your parent, a child under 21, or a spouse, is going to take the shortest amount of time. If you're sponsoring your brother or sister, you're looking at 10 to 14 years. If you're sponsoring your, let's say you only have a green card and you're sponsoring your unmarried son or daughter, it's going to take 10 years. You can refer to Visa Bulletin and see accurate timeline for this month, okay? But each month it changes. So Visa Bulletin usually gives you an idea how long you have to wait. Thank you guys again for your hearts. How much time? Hi, Krish Kumar. How much time take in New York marriage-based interview? Well, hopefully you're not going to have one, okay? But all together, marriage-based case in New York usually takes about, it's going to take about 11 months. Hi, Rogers. Hi, Rogers from Facebook. Hi, Nasir. Hi, Robert. Hi, Emma from Nigeria. Yay. Yay. Hi, Emma. Let's see. Hi, Nasir. All right. Let's see. We have more questions. Hi, Juan. I have a refugee travel document, but I applied for my I-45 in November. Can I use my travel document or no? No. Here is what happens. After you file for your adjustment of status, you have to use advanced parole rather than refugee travel document to travel. Why? Because if you don't, your I-45 is going to be automatically terminated. If you leave the United States while your I-45 application to adjust your status to receive a green card is pending without advanced parole, if you left without advanced parole, it automatically terminates. So don't make this mistake. All right. Yes, you do need advanced parole. Hi, Sunny. Thank you very much for the diamonds. I have a removal after married. Then I can get a green card. All right. So you got a removal order after you got married? I think you married after you got a removal order, right? And you would like to receive a green card. In most situations, you will have to file a motion to reopen proceedings, okay? In most situations, that's what you will need to start with. And it may take significant amount of time depending on where your immigration case ended up, just in the immigration court or in Board of Immigration Appeals, okay? Hi, Venus. Why is my advanced parole taking so long to get approved? I think it depends on the grounds for your advanced parole. If you are asking for advanced parole based on asylum pending, it's going to take a very long time. If you're asking for advanced parole because you have adjustment of status pending, you're usually going to receive it within 3 to 4 days. So days, I'm sorry, months. Hi, Mirwaz. Can I apply for my mom with a green card? No, guys. Unfortunately, if you only have a green card, the law doesn't allow you to submit petitions for your parents. Can you believe that? So unfair. Some lawmakers at some point wanted to change that, but it never got changed. All right. My mom got approved and got here in 3 weeks, and mine has 4 months, and it's still going. Why? I'm not sure, Venus, what it's referring to. Just try to maybe rephrase your question, and I will be able to help you. Hi, Bilak. I am in USA. I came on B1, B2. What options you give me for longer stay or start working? Oh, that's the dream of many, to come to the United States using a tourist or visitor's visa and stay. It's also not so legal or right to do. Why? Because when you filed for your tourist or visitor's visa, B1, B2, you stated that you would like just to visit. So it's not really right to use that visa for entry and then trying to get a green card. But let's say you have an honest change of circumstances, right? Something happened, you arrived and you realized you would like to do something here more than just being a tourist. Typically, a person would start with a student status. Why? Because it's very flexible, it's easy to receive, but you will not be able to work unless, of course, you have some arrangement with the school and the school allows for a CPT, or you're going to work on campus up to 20 hours per week, right? Or you're going to get an emergency employment authorization. And you should also know that students sometimes have an opportunity to file for OPT after they graduate from special program, master's, bachelor's, and so on. And if you're in STEM fields, your OPT is going to be very long, like for 3 years. So that would be a typical way. Some people may jump to in non-immigrant investors option, E2 visa. That happens too sometimes. But most of the times, you're going to have a hard time. All right. Some people will get married if they're very lucky and they met love of their life very soon after arrival. They can get married and file for adjustment of status. But typically, it's not so easy. You just need to know that to get your status after you come on a tourist visa, on a short-term non-immigrant visa. Hi, Nick, I have a U visa pending. Can we get advanced parole on pending U visa? Not to my knowledge, I'll be honest. I know that people who have U visa pending may request paroles for their family members if they filed special petitions for them. But if you would like to travel while your visa is pending, to my knowledge, you will not be able to do that. All right. If I'm wrong, guys, correct me, but I believe it's not possible. Hi, Sandeep Singh. Thank you very much for your diamonds. Thank you guys for your hearts. Please like and share the stream so we're going to have more people joining. What of VAWA cases now? VAWA cases are doing fantastic. Maybe they take a little bit too long, and officers started sending more requests for more evidence, as I see. But I wouldn't say that. VAWA cases are doing worse than other cases. Generally speaking, they do take longer than adjustment of status cases. That's true, but here I think it's because of the special qualifications that the officers must have. Even when you hire more people to process VAWA cases, you can expect that the training of those people is going to take more time than the training for a regular adjustment of status case. So that's what's happening, I think. That's why they're taking a little bit longer, even though USCIS is trying to address that backlog. But generally speaking, they're moving quite well, I would say. Have removal order after got married, all right? How long mostly for siege? Hi, Omar. Under the current law, it should not take USCIS longer than 180 days to make a decision on your special immigrant juvenile petition. But you will not be able to file for adjustment of status for about 4.5 years due to the backlog in F4 category. All right. Hi, Bomik. I sent my medical RFE for I-45. Now it's showing response time is expired. What should I do? That's a very interesting question. I do not know where you send it to, but in New York, there were reports that field office that requests documents to be delivered to them very often, for some reason, marks your case as if you did not send the response on time and denies your case. It's a problem. It's a problem. It happens to several attorneys. I know many attorneys because we share information on AILA, and I think AILA, American Immigration Lawyers Association, is working to resolve this. Something is not right. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but this is what you can do, and it's the only thing that you really can do. If you're mailing your response, make sure that you mail it with a tracking, and you save that tracking confirmation that your response was delivered on time. Because if your case is denied, you will have to file a motion to reopen, and unfortunately, you'll have to pay a fee to convince USCIS that you did everything right. Okay, this is my best advice to you. Hi, the Math Professor on YouTube. Hello, lawyer. Question: can I apply for VAWA if I entered the United States on a J-1 visa and have TPS approved? I do not know why not. VAWA Violence Against Women Act, that's an I-360 petition. Why wouldn't you not be able to file for it? If there are grounds for VAWA, go for it, okay? Go for it. That's your right. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, good evening. If someone has an existing US tourist visa and enters US, and soon after, during his stay in the United States, he applies for F1 visa status, what will happen to his US tourist visa? Would it still be valid? That's an excellent question. Well, hear me out. Probably it will depend on how soon you will be filing for that F1 status change. If you're going to be filing for it about 90 days, within 90 days of your arrival to the United States, I don't think it's going to be approved. There is a great chance that you will be accused of misrepresenting your true intentions at the time of the entry to the United States. But let's say more time passed and you were in this tourist status, and towards the end of your status, typically you will be admitted for 180 days. You submitted for change to tourist status. Your visa should not be revoked, but then your status will change. So once you leave the United States and you will be seeking to come back to the United States, if you would like to be admitted in an F1 status, you will have to receive an F1 visa, okay? But remember, I personally do know of cases when a person tried to go for F1 status pretty fast after they entered on a tourist visa, and they got an email from Department of State stating that their B1, B2 was revoked. Just keep that in mind. Hi, John Duster. Can I file for work permit after getting I-360 approval? SIG. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. In fact, USCIS is going to give you a notice stating that you can. All right. Hi, Diallo. I'm a US citizen. Can I file petition for my brother? Yes, you can, and you should do that. Even though your brother is not going to be able to use that petition for like 10 to 12 years. But the sooner you start, the sooner it's going to be better for you. Time flies, and if you don't act fast, you're just going to waste your time. Hi, Malik. I have a 10-year green card, but I got divorced. Will it affect my green card in any way? Malik, it should not affect your green card in any way. You have a right, if you're not happy in your relationship, okay, if something went wrong, to divorce, all right? As long as it was a real marriage, guys, you do not have to stay unhappy in this unit, okay? You move on, it's totally fine. And most likely people worry not even about the green card, about the citizenship, right? Because the goal of every immigrant eventually, at least I think so, is to file for your citizenship. Again, if you have real marriage, something went wrong, you just move on, okay? Hi, Chris Dave. How long does it take to get your green card after adjustment of status through a U visa? After adjustment of status through a U visa? Well, once once you receive a notification that your adjustment of status was granted, it shouldn't take more than a couple of weeks literally to receive that green card. All right, it shouldn't take that long. Thank you, Zanguina. Thank you very much. How long mostly for Sage? Yes, Omar, I think I answered that. Hi, Cesar, I'm a Mexican lawyer. Could we work together on immigration cases? I would love to see what we can do together. All right, you can reach me at shaltsova.com. You can reach me using my email office at shaltsova.com and let me know what's happening on your guys' side. I know that United States and Mexico are like this, all right? Neighbors. And of course, we share immigration issues. We share cases. We share, the immigration pain. And it's just never going to go away because we're neighbors. If you noticed, every president who comes, especially Trump, he was even entering into agreements with Mexico to address the immigration issue. And it's true. If you don't work with your neighbors, you will never be able to truly resolve the immigration issues that you have. It's true not only for Mexico, it's also true for Canada, okay? Any country that other countries sharing borders with, it's just the truth. All right, let's see. Hi, Nadeep Singh. How many times I can travel on the green card in a year? That's a good question. There is no limit as to how many times you can leave the United States if you have a green card. But you have to keep in mind certain things. First of all, your trip should not be longer than 6 months unless you are ready to face, consequences of that at the border, where an officer may state that you abandoned your green card. Thank you very much, Venus, for your roses. 21 roses. Thank you very much. Now, if let's say you're very careful and you make sure that you don't leave the United States for more than 6 months, you travel for 5 months and 3 weeks every time. If you do that frequently, you still may encounter problems at the border, and officers still may say that you abandoned your green card. Let's say you're smarter than that, and you're just taking frequent trips of no more than 3 months at a time, but you do them every 2 months, and you still can be accused of abandoning your green card. So the key here is this rule of thumb. If you received your green card in the United States, spend more time in the United States than overseas. At least prior to receiving your citizenship, stay away from frequent travels, prolonged travels, and you'll be totally fine. Once you receive your citizenship, you are a free bird. You can do whatever you want. You can move to your home country. You can do whatever you want. That's totally fine. But just keep in mind that you will have to file for that naturalization. You don't want to be accused of abandoning the green card. Also, very important thing that many are overlooking. When you file for naturalization, officers may look at your entire time in the United States while you maintained while you had your green card status. All right, so that's very, very important. Not just for the past 5 years. Just keep that in mind. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing, and thank you very much for stars and hearts. Hi, Olo Wakemi. I went to green card interview. The interviewer asked me also 32 questions, but maybe he did not collect any documents. That's what you meant? Huh, interesting. So why did you file for the green card? Okay. Are you referring to the 32 questions, the security questions in adjustment of status application? Many officers will do that, especially new officers. That's totally fine. It's their right. The documents, that's a totally different story. If you're filing based on marriage, you should insist on supplementing the records if the officer didn't ask you for the documents. That's why you bring a lawyer who knows what they're doing. Very politely, relaxing, your lawyer is going to say, "Oh, officer, we have some more documents to supplement the case. Could you please take a look at them?" All right? Now those documents are in your record. Otherwise, the office is going to be making decision on that submission that you filed. And sometimes it's very important to supplement your record. Very important. Especially if you file the cases by yourself, guys. I've noticed people get this incorrect information on forums that state that you just have to submit your forms. You don't have to submit much evidence with your initial filing. Wrong. You would like to submit as much evidence as possible during your filing so that your case will be approved fast. You're not going to receive requests for more evidence. You're not going to be called for the interview. Okay? All right, let's see more questions. Hi, Jose. Wait, where did your question go? Wait. Hi, Alina. I'm an F1 student with approved TPS. Is it okay to stop going to school? Will I still have legal status? Listen, if you're going to stop going to school, your legal status related to F1 is going to, let me actually think about that. So what happens is this: when you receive TPS, according to the rules, if prior to receiving TPS you were in legal status, if TPS terminates, you're going to revert back to that status, okay? So that's what the rules state. With F1 though, I feel like it's a little bit trickier than that, because your service record will have to be terminated since you're not going to be an active student. And despite this general rule, I believe that it's not going to really work out, all right? Because school also, you're dealing with school. It's not just, a B1, B2 tourist status. You're dealing with school, they have admission process and so on and so forth. So I think before you're going to drop out of school, I think you need to think about what your goals are, what that you're trying to accomplish, and what potential ways you have to receive status in the United States. All right, TPS is not the bad status; it is temporary in its name, but it also has its own benefits and perks. Okay, let's say you're tired of paying for the school, you can continue going to school without the F1 status. That's also is allowed. But rule of thumb, typically, if you would like to study and you don't mind paying the money for the tuition, it's always better to graduate, because then you achieve something for your career, right? You achieve something for your career. It's very, very important. We do not know what's there to come, what's gonna happen. But if you build up yourself, you will always have more options. If you don't, every single person I meet who dropped out of school usually regrets it. So just keep that in mind. But consult with an attorney, somebody maybe who helped you to file for TPS. Look at your situation. What will make sense for you? Why would you want to drop out? Can you still earn the degree? If you drop out, consult maybe with your school advisor, see what documentation they're going to be sending to DHS. And then you're going to make a decision what's going to be the best for you, for your particular situation. All right. Maybe they gave you some good scholarship, or maybe it's not going to make sense for you to drop out at this particular moment. All right. That's also very important. All right. Let's see if we have more questions on TikTok. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you guys very much for hearts and flowers from TikTok, for stars and on my Facebooks. Thank you guys. I do appreciate you sharing. Sharing is caring. You can care for me and I will answer your questions. Thank you very much, Venus. My mom advanced parole came in 3 weeks and mine has been 4 months and nothing yet. Why? Another excellent question. I have a case where both husband and wife filed for asylum pending related work permit. Husband received his in 3 days. And his work permit was issued only for 2 years, because at that time, the work permit was for 2 years. Wife's work permit application got stuck for a year, but she received hers for 5 years. Why? I have no idea. They're both based on the same application, both were submitted at the same time, and it's just a mystery to me how those two got separated. I think you're facing similar situation. Nobody will ever be able to tell you with confidence why it happened. I believe it's just processing delays. Maybe somehow case gets separated. Family members go through different officers. Maybe there is difference in your case, your mom's case, and different officers got assignments, and that's all there is. Again, I have a family of TPS applicants. Child and the mother received their initial work permits very fast. Husband did not. Why? We do not know. They have identical qualifications. So I don't think anything is bad happening, all right? I just think that the cases got on different desks, and that's about that. So don't worry too much about that, okay? Hi, Torres. I'm about to file an I-130 petition based on marriage. What are the documents needed when I file? All right. So I will name some of the documents for you, but each case will be slightly different. And the best way to find out which documents you need to submit is to look at I-130 instructions. That's a really like a treasure mine. It gives you everything that you need to know about I-130 filing. So first of all, of course, thank you very much, Venus, for your roses. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your attention and your generosity. So first of all, you need to know that, of course, you have to submit proof that the marriage is legally sufficient. It's going to be a marriage certificate and certificates for divorce for all prior marriages, not just for the recent marriage, but for all prior marriages. Then you have to submit proof that you have status in the United States as a petitioner, be it a green card, be it a citizen. I think you mentioned that you're a citizen. It's either going to be a certificate of naturalization, or maybe it will be a birth certificate showing that you were born in the United States, or it can be a copy of your US citizen passport. I always suggest to submit birth certificate for your spouse, non-citizen spouse as well. You will still need it later, even if now you're filing just I-130. But then you have to submit documents showing that the marriage is real. Typically, you would start with joint lease, showing that you guys reside in the same place. Copies of your IDs, if possible, showing that you have same addresses. Joint tax returns. We're in the tax season, so perhaps you will have that. Statements from joint bank accounts. And not just one statement or a letter proving that you have a joint account. You have to submit statements for each month you have the joint bank account, and the statement has to reflect that you're commingling funds together. In other words, it's not enough if you have only 1 or 2 transactions. Nope, they're not going to say that you have life together. I mean, USCIS. Utility bills under both of your names, even spam mails. Affidavits from 2 US citizens or green card holders confirming that you have real relationship. You can submit that. Insurance policies showing that you're both insured through the same account for something, or you have a life insurance and your spouse is a beneficiary or vice versa. Wills, where you name your spouse as the person who's going to benefit from your estate if you, God forbid, something happens to you. Photographs of what is it that you're doing together, how you spend your time. If you submit all this, I give you 80% chance that your case will be granted. Why 80%? Because I don't know you. I don't know what's happening in your life. maybe there is something that I'm not aware of. So, and that something is going to be uncovered by USCIS officer, right? So, but usually, typically, the case will be granted if you have a strong case and there are no adverse factors. If your spouse was previously going through a marriage-based case and it didn't work out, you must work with an attorney, no exception, guys. It's a very tricky situation. USCIS is going to request proof that the previous marriage was real. It's very, very tricky. You have to be prepared for that, okay? All right. Hi, Omalola. Is there any chance for pending asylum in immigration court with no future date? Why wouldn't you have a chance? Of course, you're going to have a chance. Some judges are really speeding things up. You just need to know that. There are judges in New York who started calling cases in backlog and basically managing them, asking, what does your client want to do? Do you guys want to go through a dismissal or you would like to have a trial date? Okay, so great chances, absolutely. You always have to be ready. I know it's very stressful because you don't know when you're going to be called, but that's the game. You have to be ready. That's why you have reliable attorney, I hope, who is not sleeping, okay, and who advised you, preferably in writing, what you need to do, how you need to track your case, how you need to stay on your tippy toes, just so when you are called, you are ready for that. All right. Thank you guys very much for your hearts. Thank you very much for your stars. One more thing I wanted to tell you about before I'm going to end this live today. Many of you are asking about prosecutorial discretion. So many times here I discussed it, but I think it's worth mentioning it again. Why? It is so because currently it's very popular. It's extremely popular in courts. Your attorney may come on the day of the trial and say, would you like a PD? You say, what is it? And they explain to you what it is quickly. Sometimes they say, well, you're probably going to keep your work permit. And why do I have to accept the PD? You ask them. They say, well, the judge is kind of tough, and the prosecutor says they're going to fight your case, and I feel like we're going to lose. Well, you say, okay, I'm going to accept my PD if I keep my work permit, and the lawyer disappears. Later, you receive news that your case is closed. Now it's time for you to extend your work permit. You send your work permit papers, you get a reply back saying that, wait, your case is no longer pending. You're not going to get your work permit. And you are in shock as to what happened. This is what happens in 99% of the time when you agree to PD, prosecutorial discretion. The case is going to be dismissed instead of administratively closed. And you're not going to get your work permit. And if you need one because you are an employee, you do not own a business, you must know about that. It's extremely important. Some people tell me, I'd rather take chances of winning or losing. I'd rather go through appeal, but I do not want to live here illegally without ever hoping of being able to freely travel, okay? Some people ended up in removal proceedings through wrong advice. Some people, several years ago, there were lawyers, law firms who made a lot of money on those people, saying that if you lived in the United States for 10 years, you're going to get a green card. Well, they forgot about the rest of the qualifications, that you have to also show you have a special relative and extreme hardship to that relative and so on and so forth. So people ran to those lawyers, gave them the money, ended up in the removal proceedings, and to their surprise, they found out they're stuck in the process with no opportunity to get out. For people like that, PD is a great thing, okay? But for others, it may be very, very different. So when you are agreeing to PD, make sure you're agreeing to something that you understand, to dismissal or administrative closure or both. You have to check it with your attorney. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much. I know we have more questions to go through, and I'm sorry that I cannot answer all of them, but I'm so, so happy that so many people joined. I've been online for about 50 minutes at this point. I do have to run. It's Friday night. But if everything goes well, we're going to meet again next Tuesday night. All right, next Tuesday night, we're going to meet again, and I'll be happy to answer questions of those of you who I was not able to answer today. So thank you very much for your time. I hope I will see you soon. Have a great weekend, and we're going to see each other soon.